Well, what would you say if I told you that there was a bridge that could take you to the next phase of human evolution? Pretty cool, right? Well, good news. There is one. And if you want to access it, all you have to do is open your heart and open your mind. So let's visualize the bridge. There it is, from end to end. So here we are at the starting point. What do we have here? Violence, crime, hate, intolerance, conflict, and war. Well, what do we have here at the other end of the bridge? Oh, we have compassion, kindness, love, tolerance, nonviolence, and peace. Pretty simple choice, right? Some would say simplistic, that the history of the world is a history of war. War after war after war. That's how we progress. Others would say nonsense. It's a journey to get past all that violence. I think Martin Luther King Jr. said it best when he said, "The moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And what is justice ultimately? The ability to live in peace. So how do we get from point A to point B? Well, here where we are, we have some very heavy baggage that we got to throw away before they'll let us on that bridge. Primitive concepts like, it's dog eat dog out there. Life is a zero-sum game. Kill or be killed. For me to live and thrive, somebody else must suffer and die. Now, I know you're all thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me. I don't believe that. I'm not violent. I'm not a killer. But what if I told you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Most people eat animals. That means most people kill animals. A lot of them. Some would say a couple of hundred a year. Others would say thousands. When you eat that one fast food hamburger filled with processed meat that comes from a whole variety of different sources, you can be eating the body parts of hundreds of cows. That means you're complicit in killing hundreds of cows. Now you're thinking, hey, lady, I ordered the hamburger. I didn't kill hundreds of cows. But let's be real. Let's be honest. You ordered the hit. And there's a time-honored legal concept. When you order the hit, you're just as guilty as the person who slit the victim's throat. Now, you might say, hey, lady, it's justifiable homicide. I have to eat meat to survive. But of course you don't. There are millions of us, myself included, that don't eat meat and dairy, and guess what? We're standing here just fine. In fact, meat's not good for you. The World Health Organization recently announced that processed meat, which is everything from bacon to hot dogs, is cancer-causing. Red meat is a likely carcinogen. Heart disease, America's leading killer, kills 1 out of every 4 of us, is arteries to the heart getting clogged with cholesterol. There's no cholesterol in vegetables. Cholesterol only exists in meat and dairy products because animals produce cholesterol. So it's not good for us. Now you might say, well, look, I need my protein. Well, guess what? There are plenty of plant sources of protein. Not just soy and lentils and legumes, but broccoli, kale, spinach. I could be here all day. Anyway, when's the last time you came home from the doctor with a protein deficiency? We eat more protein than any culture in the history of humankind, and we're not healthier for it. It's a marketing ploy. You might say, hey, this is my tradition. This is how I was raised. And cite your religion or your ethnicity. Again, no excuse. Tradition is no excuse for killing. And just because something was doesn't mean it always has to be. If that were the case, none of the women in this room would have the right to vote. So you might say, hey, don't look at me. Everybody's doing it. Why are you pointing the finger at me? It's society. It's just the way that it is. Again, no excuse. History is replete with cases of mass sadism from slavery to the Holocaust. And at the end of the day, when people woke up, those who participated did not get a pass. And then there's that final firewall defense, personal choice. Hey, you live your life, I'll live mine. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to eat. Or as I would say, who to eat. But it's not just a personal choice when there's a victim. And there's lots of victims. Every year on this planet, we raise, torture, and kill between 60 and 70 billion so-called farm animals. I'm not even including fish, which would put it in the trillions and is another abomination. I'm talking about sentient beings with central nervous systems who feel terror and loneliness and pain, who have emotional lives, who are just like this dog over here. They happen to be called cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, goats, and lambs, little baby lambs. And what we do to these individuals behind those closed factory farm doors is a moral outrage. And it's pretty much indescribable, but I'll try. We cut off their tails without anesthesia. We castrate them without anesthesia. We brand them with numbers. We sear off their beaks. We stick them in crates the size of their bodies, never able to turn around, and they become psychotic. And after we torture them for a considerable period of time, we take them out. We put them on a truck without food or water. We drive them to the slaughterhouse. We hang them upside down, and we slit their throats and bleed them out. A lot of bloodshed, a lot of killing. This is the reality. And it's not just killing. There are other crimes. How about rape and abduction? Note to all the feminists in the room. These animals are not making love in these factory farms. They are all violated. They are raped. The industry term is rape rack. You can look it up. And then when these abused mothers give birth to their baby calves, we abduct the babies. Why? Think about it. If we're going to steal the breast milk of another species that's not designed for ourselves and drink it, even though it's bad for us, how can we let that baby calf, for whom nature intended that milk, anywhere near the mother's breast? Murder, rape, abduction, and stealing. And it's not just the animals themselves that we're pillaging and plundering. It is the earth itself. Animal agriculture is a leading cause of climate change, responsible for more greenhouse gases than all transportation combined. A really inconvenient truth you won't hear from Al Gore, but it's courtesy of the United Nations. Again, look it up. Animal agriculture, a leading cause of habitat destruction, which makes it a leading cause of wildlife extinction. Why? It's very simple. You've got to destroy a lot of forests to grow enough crops to feed 60 to 70 billion farm animals who eat a lot of food. And that food isn't going to starving children who are dying of malnutrition as we speak. It's very simple. Meat is the most wasteful, inefficient food source ever invented. Why? Because animals eat a lot more than they produce as meat. We are all animals. Every single person in this room is an animal. If I were to take any of you, stick you in a crate the size of your body, immobilize you so you couldn't burn off calories, fatten you up for a considerable period of time, maybe a year and a half or two, and then took you out, slit your throat, deboned you, deveined you, popped out your eyeballs, popped out your teeth, and then took the fleshy parts and sliced it up into little patties and put you on styrofoam trays and wrapped all those patties in plastic and sold you as parts, you would have eaten a lot more food than you produced as meat. It's just inefficient. Now let's think about the alternative. What if we all stopped eating animals? Well, people would get healthier. Your health care costs would drop, by the way. I know we debate that a lot right now. Okay? Wildlife would start to regenerate. Forests would regenerate. We could slow or maybe even reverse climate change. And all those starving children would start to get the food they need. And by the way, we'd stop torturing and killing billions of animals who are just like our dogs and cats, who are individuals who have a right to their own lives and did not sign up to be slaughtered for your dinner. When we think of peace, we love to look in the distant horizon and say, you, stranger in a strange land over there, why can't you be peaceful? But the truth is that peace begins inside of us, with every decision that we make throughout the course of the day. I have a buddy named Patty Schenker, and she says, peace begins on your plate, baby. And it's true. Peace begins on your plate. I urge you, I beg you all, to have a peaceful meal filled with delicious and nutritious fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. There are thousands of them now, and they've even designed them to look like meat and cheese to make you feel better. And then get on that bridge to the next phase of human evolution. It's better on the other side. Thank you.